What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I had every intention of coming on here and cooking Joel Embiid for some comments that he apparently made. I have to confirm whether he said this or not. But I saw something that someone sent me where he said basically if it wasn't for injuries, he would be the GOAT. You know, um, which is akin to something that Dwayne Wade said the other day about, oh, if it wasn't for injuries, I've been better than Michael Jordan. Man, y'all shut up with that mess, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all choked way too much in the playoffs when y'all was healthy, especially Joel Embiid, to be in that conversation. If you ain't been out of the second round of playoffs, you can't be the GOAT. If Wilt can't be the GOAT for only getting 2 rings, you can't be the GOAT for not getting out of the second. You can't even be in the top 10 if you can't get out of the goddamn second round of playoffs. But I'm not going to go in on Joel Embiid because of something that he said today, which is refreshing, or at least something that came out today that's refreshing because everybody feels like, they have to speak around this and maneuver around this lie. And the lie is that LeBron James is still the same LeBron James of old. And he's not. Sure, he can still go out there and put up points because, they never call him for offensive fouls. He's stronger and bigger than everybody else, especially his position, I should say. So being that he still has the same size and he's retained a lot of his athleticism, he can still go out there and score because, people love to bring up his points, but really, can you really defend him? He plays the power forward position, so whenever he's outside shooting, he's usually in a mismatch situation with somebody about 4, 5, 6 inches shorter than him. So he gets to shoot over a guy, or sometimes he's just left wide open. And then he gets to bull to the basket. It's not like there's that resistance that Kobe and Mike got when they got older, and they actually had to have skills to still score. So those numbers don't really mean nothing to me. Especially when that stat came out a couple of years ago, people didn't believe where 91.5% of his points that season when he was gunning for the scoring title against Embiid, remember that year? 91.5% of his points came in garbage time, which is an NBA record. But the media didn't want to push that. But anyway, let me get to the point. Team USA has been struggling. Last I checked, they're losing to South Sudan. You know what I'm saying? So, and they barely got by, who was it? Who did they just beat 98-92? They just beat somebody 98-92. And people want to talk about that team better than the 92 Dream Team. They ain't better than the 2004 Athens team that didn't win the gold. But anyway, speaking to Dave Marchese of the New York Times, Embiid suggested that there are other teams as talented as the United States and warned that several of Team USA's players are no longer in their prime, including Lakers superstar LeBron James. Wait a minute, that's the only one that he actually named. You know what I'm saying? He said, try to do my Joel Embiid. You look at the talent that the U.S. has, but there's equal talent on other teams. And the talent that's on U.S. team, you also got to understand most of these guys are older. The LeBron now is not the LeBron that was a couple of years ago. So it's a big difference. Everybody will also tell you, you can see for yourself, the athletic LeBron dominant that he was a couple of years ago. It's not the same that he is now. I think people get fooled by the names on paper, but those names have been built throughout their career, and now they're older. They're not what they used to be. So, I'm glad that he said it, because if we say it, we're called haters. Now, he says they, but Curry still is effective. you see some slippage on the defensive end, but Curry is still a dominant player. KD is not quite what he used to be, but he's still, because of the rule changes, still very dominant. Look, this is how much easier it is to score. After his Achilles rupture, KD is more efficient and he averages more points per game. That tells you how easy it is to comparatively to score in the NBA now. But clearly, LeBron James at 39 years of age, almost 40, is not the same player. He's not the same player he was 2 years ago, let alone 4 years ago. And don't even think about 5, 6 years ago. But, they insist on this guy still being the face of the league. They still insist on this guy somehow being the focal point of the offense. And he's hurting the team, just like he hurts the Lakers. And nobody ever wants to admit it. Darvin Ham, where everybody castigated as a bad coach without LeBron and AD. Remember, they came into Boston. They were supposed to get their asses kicked. I was saying, hell, if they only lose by 10 points, that's a moral victory. They came into Boston and beat them. They beat the defending world champions at Boston. Remember, Boston won 64 games this year. But he couldn't coach. And that's just that's a small sample size. But there's been other situations where he's not playing, and the Lakers' offense just looks so much more fluid. But LeBron, I saw, turn the ball over. I saw him shoot one of the worst bricks I've ever seen. I think it was a scrimmage for Team USA that was making the rounds of the highlight reels, but magically, you didn't see Skip or anybody show that on a low light reel, But I'm glad that Joel Embiid came out here and said this, Now, there's two things that could happen. As we speak, Rich Paul is making calls to try to bully Joel Embiid off his position and change what he said. Try to soften the blow. Say something like, the other day, I gave an interview and I was misquoted. I was misquoted. The New York Times misquoted me. You see, what I actually said is the LeBron now is not the LeBron that was a couple of years ago. And they left out that I said he has a higher basketball IQ. So he's even better now. So it's a big difference. They took that out. So I would never disrespect. I would never. Nah. So, hope he don't do that. But what's going to happen now? And I know Ticket said this. So shout out to Ticket TV. What they're going to do is, if he doesn't change his tune on this, they're going to start punishing him. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to bring up the playoff failures. They're going to bring up the injuries. They're going to bring up him ducking Joker. They're going to bring up all the stuff that we talked about and now weaponize all the arguments that all of us made about Joel Embiid when we were called haters, right? Speaking the truth about Joel Embiid. Now they are going to use that and weaponize it against Joel Embiid and try to ruin his stock. A guy who's an MVP winner. Now, don't get me wrong. He begged for that goddamn MVP award and then played like shit in the playoffs. They're going to bring up his conditioning and all this stuff. But remember, as great as Joel Embiid was in the 2022-23 season, before he got hurt, he was playing at a historic pace, and he was putting up numbers that had not been matched by any center. Now, keep in mind, it is easy to score, but he still had been putting up numbers that hadn't been matched by any center since arguably Pete Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and definitely since Wilt Chamberlain. That's the type of season he was having. He was on pace to win his second MVP, even though the usual suspects was going to try to make their case for Nikola Jokic, and then they gave it to Jokic. Those who really wanted to give it to Jokic the year before last, then found an excuse to give it to Jokic. But that's what they're probably going to do, man, And, another thing that has been touched on is what we're seeing on Team USA is why guys don't like to play with LeBron. Because aside from the fact that you got the media scrutiny and he'll never get blamed for stuff and you're always going to be blamed for every damn thing, you know what I'm saying? We already know all of that. But from a basketball standpoint, unless you have a specific game, you have to make adjustments to him. You have to yield toward him all the time. He never has to make any damn adjustments. You got to adjust to him. And some guys, they're probably thinking to themselves like, wait a minute, man. Wait the goddamn minute. I just won the MVP award just the other year. Why do I have to make adjustments to my game to fit him? The shit don't make no motherfucking sense. I should not have to adjust my game to play with him. I'm in the peak of my powers. Why do I have to make adjustments for a guy who is 40 years old? It's ridiculous. He's right. But that's how it is. That's why Kawhi Leonard got up out of there because, LeBron probably went behind the scenes, grinning and smiling in Kawhi's face. Hey, man, hey, look, man, it's great playing with you, man. This is amazing, man. This is why I want you in L.A., bro. He's like, what's that guy named? The Darnell Hill show? You're like Darnell Hill where he kisses your ass in front of you, but then talks shit about you when you leave or behind your back. Yeah, man. It was amazing, man. Hey, I was going to pass that torch to you, bro. Really? You still like you the man now, man. It's 5-6 years later, man. You still the man. Well, I was going to pass the torch to you. You special. So what he's trying to say, LeBron, I ain't special. No, AD, you special. You special, man. We just got a special role for you, But Kawhi, I was going to pass that torch. You the man, man. You the man, bro. As soon as he walks off, and we got to make that call, man. Got to call Rich, man. It ain't going to work out, man. It ain't going to work out, man. This guy ain't going to fit into his little system, man. LeBron. Matter of fact, I won't be surprised if LeBron to the point now where he talks about himself in the third person. But LeBron is unhappy with this situation, man. Make a note. LeBron is heated. Okay, LeBron needs guys who can fit to his system. Okay, LeBron needs guys who he can depend on. Okay. Kawhi just doesn't fit it, man. Make sure Rich Paul does what he has to do, reaches certain people, placate the media, make the payments, get the word out, get them off this team. That's probably going to happen with Joel Embiid. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Joel isn't a good fit playing in the system unless he's just standing around shooting threes all day, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to do. But it is what it is, man. I'm just to a point where people want to create these. It's about narratives, man. It's not about what is actually going on the basketball floor. It's not telling the truth. It's about promoting agendas and promoting brands And the business part of sports has gotten in the way. The business part and the money part has gotten in the way of the sport. That's why you got so many misinformed and delusional people walking around thinking that players are better than what they were. Players are still in their prime. And if you just speak and say things that are truthful, I mean, we're seeing it in politics. Clearly, the president is suffering from some mild form of dementia at the very least. And people say you're hating on them. I mean, it's just people don't want to hear the truth no more. People want to live in their own little la la land, their own little bubble, man. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.